Nobody's going to call these busters this week on The Hapless Heroes.
Jars aren't real.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast, and happy almost Halloween, everybody. This wonderful, amazing Spooktober that we are celebrating together. I can think of no better group to celebrate that with than my friends, starting on my virtual left with Dave playing March.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Mike as Brew Blitzboar.
I'm ready for some more joggers.
That's solid.
That's it.
Nicole as Glorp Glup Glup.
What if it's just our crew that's unraveling? What if our brains all unravel? Oh, I'm not ready for this.
Sebastian as Chumdalum.
Breathe in, breathe out, yeah.
And Lewis as Lev Zangiv.
What if he starts to think that we are Jar?
Oh, no.
Speaking of jars, last week, some jar-related compulsions were had. Y'all were trying to snap Brew out of yet another possession. I was going to say possessive, but that is the wrong word to use. Possession episode. And he came out of it somewhat himself, but became strangely obsessed with opening jars. He feels
That's one word
this
for
compulsion, this need, this desire to open jars based on a message or a vision he had that as he, was coming back to. There's been the sound of something kind of bonking on the outside of the ship as Brew in his possession, navigated you closer to that object. The ship has since stopped moving. You are on top of it, but no one has gone out to investigate yet. The engines still cannot go to warp speed, but seem to work just fine with moving you to and fro and at normal speeds. It is a bit of a mystery that. And with a whole bunch of jars now open on the ship, and now Percival muttering this same sort of phrase that Brew was when he was experiencing his bout of madness, is now trying to open the hatch or the cargo door of your ship, muttering to himself, "Tishala Divarash, Sine Ixitor." And that's where we open up.
Very, very much looking like I am worried. Run over to Percy and hook him up to whatever line we have for walking on the outside of the ship. I imagine it's just like one of those dog leashes you put around a tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's one of those things you just kind of, you anchor it. It's pretty much just like climbing gear, right? You just kind of anchor it to different, what do they call it? Carabiner of sorts that just anchors itself to different parts of the external outside of the ship, just to make sure that,
I'll put it on his belt, buckle, or whatever's available. I know he's wearing an exosuit, so I probably could find something better than that.
No, I mean, exosuit. It's really just, again, it's an exoskeleton, if anything else.
We'll do the belt loop, because I know those pants have been fighting for their lives for a while. Do a belt
He
loop.
pays you no mind as you do that.
Of course. And then I sit back and I go, guys, I think Percy's going to go outside. Who wants to come watch?
Is there one for everyone? Because I did put one on earlier.
There's a couple, but I'm not going to say that we have one for each of us to tether. I don't think all
you could go out there if you
people are
wanted
going for a spacewalk.
I'll go out there.
If you want to.
I'll go out there with him.
Are you sure, Lev, that it's kind of scary out there? It's like space and stuff.
Please, we need to make sure he doesn't hurt himself. So, I mean, you saw what happened with Pretzel. He got shot eating pretzels. So that is.
I love how you're just letting him do the thing, but like you were so adamant of stopping Brew, and now, but Percival, now if he wants to go outside, let him.
Oh yeah.
What is? Can someone roll the clip of? Can someone roll the clip of me saying that, that y'all are absolutely that I was not going to abuse my DMPC privileges, but y'all certainly were going to abuse my DMPC.
Yeah, roll the clip.
Somebody just roll the clip.
You're the clip roller.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure we all said that we were 100% going to do that. So I am confident in what I've said in the past.
I'm just trying to highlight a double standard.
I love it.
Displayed here. Okay.
I love it. Also,
sure.
you
Okay,
know, Percy would know what to do. Brew going out there, it's like, what are you going out there to do? Percy going out there, it's like, all right, well, we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, because clearly Percy is absolutely in his right mind and definitely knows what he's doing right now. Okay.
Talks to himself all the time, bro.
Lev hooks himself up as well to a tether line, and the door, slowly goes down. The vastness of the astral sea is just, in sight as the door opens, and you hear as Percival slowly walks out onto the ramp, continuing to mutter the Tishala Divarash Sine Ixitor, and he walks just to the edge of the ramp and just holds his arms out. And stands there.
Okay.
Tishala Divarash Sine Ixitor.
I looked to see where the banging was happening earlier.
I mean, you're like looking around just from like you like actually walking out onto the ship itself and like exploring further. You would have to like at that point now start climbing onto the exterior of the ship and and whatnot and looking around.
You see anything over there, Percy?
That's
again, huh? Okay.
After a few moments, though, Lev, make me a perception check, please.
Oh my god,
this is awesome.
17.
Yeah, you see, there's like something that seems to be sort of like falling up and down, like in your field of view, like as if it's like kind of hitting the gravity plane and going back up and then down and then up, down, and every now and again it just goes bonk. It's the side of the ship, and then just then you hear another bonk as this kind of glances off the back side of the ship, and then slowly starts floating towards Percival's open arms. It appears to be a jar of sorts.
Of course it is.
Now, this is going to be a bit of a anachronistic reference, but this is more for you, the players, to imagine. If you were to take like an old, like an Egyptian, like canopic jars, are you familiar with these or what they look like?
Yeah, I was born in the 90s. I did see the movie Mummy. That's a big jar of nope. It's a big jar of nope. like where it's like they're like these like like clay or ceramic or type jars that have like like the usually on the top of the jar is like some sort of depiction of like like it's either Horus or something like that, right? It's this looks similar to that, but at the top of the jar just looks like what appears to be just like a purple like not misshapen, it's the wrong word. Like if you were to carve something that might have been like fuzzy, right? Like it's has this texture to it, so it's not like perfectly rounded. It's got like this sort of like cratery type texture to it, and then just two beady eyes just kind of like poking out from the top of it, and like a weirdly shaped like just like nose with no nostrils. It's just kind of carved into it, like this purple head with like little white beady eyes. And then below it is sort of like this like off-white with like different rune inscriptions, and it just kind of floats right into Percival's hands.
Okay.
And he's just staring at it, and again repeating to himself, Tishala Divarash Sine Ixitor, as he slowly now turns to face everybody else in the ship and just starts walking into the ship again.
No.
Tishala Divarash. I
guess I'll walk up to Percy and oh, that is a great jar you have there. Let me go ahead and take a look at that real quick from you, out of your hands into mine. Yes? And I'll take the jar
Shala
from him.
Divarash. You attempt to take it, and he does like that. He like moves it away from you, and then he's moving towards. Where's Brew? Are you on the second level, sir? Or did you come down with them?
Well, I think I'm trying to decide if I overheard him say the word jar. I absolutely heard him. I am going to make my way down to where you are and say, did I hear somebody say jar? Is there a jar down here?
Yeah, and you
March,
see.
open the cryo container.
You make your way down.
Is
Oh no, am I right?
that's
What is happening?
yes? It's gonna haunt in
You
the thing. It's Cookie Monster jar.
Oh my god. I was looking for a cookie jar, by the way.
I didn't want to say Cookie Monster, but it is not unlike Cookie Monster. Anyway.
Just
At
purple
least the
instead of
head,
blue.
like the top part of it. At least the top part of the jar. The bottom part of the jar is just like asymmetric, not asymmetrical, but like like a fluted type. Oh my god, what's the word where it's not perfectly straight? It kind of like bevels out, right? Is that the word? You know what I mean? Where it's not like perfectly cylindrical. It kind
Concave?
of like expands. What's that?
Flare.
Concave, flared.
Yeah, flares. That's it. So it kind of flares out towards the top of where like this carving is of this thing with the beady eyes. But then below is literally just like this ceramic with like runes carved into it.
Nope. Monster, you got it open.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go.
Lev is trying to grab this from Percy, and you can see that Percy is as Brew makes his way down is reaching out to hand it to Brew.
Okay.
Yeah, well, somebody who can do tall people stuff, go do tall people stuff.
Oh man, do I hit Percival?
Oh man, I don't know. Do you?
I have.
He's already taken one smack to the noggin. As you see, there's like a little
that's a good
Band-Aid over a
point.
gigantic lump on his head.
Yeah, what's a minor TBI between friends, right?
Right. Okay, yeah, I mean he's already got one. You're right. So doesn't more hurt. I'm gonna try to just hit him with a non-lethal, unarmed strike.
Huh? Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Oh. Oh. You guys can't see the facial expressions, but it's telling a story.
It's so. Just remind me what it is.
To
I have
hit.
to add.
Just tell me to hit. Just tell me
Yeah,
to
okay.
hit, which is your strength plus your proficiency.
Okay, that's a 23.
You absolutely hit him. You bonk him right on the
Okay,
head again,
nice.
or wherever you hit him, and he.
Hold on. And then, because of my past as a former entertainer in the ring, I now attempt to use my bonus action to grapple him, as long as he is no more than one size category larger than me.
He is not.
Boom.
He is. He does. I think count as a size category larger when doing certain things, but it's only one, not two, and you are the same size category otherwise. So, yes, you
Okay.
grapple him.
He's now grappled.
Right, is it automatically grappled, or does it trigger a strength contest still? What does it say?
It says you may use your to attempt to grapple, which I assume would be
So we make
roll.
the grapple check.
Yes, let's make a
Yep,
grapple
so-
check. That sounds good.
Ooh.
And that's my saving throw or raw dexterity?
Well, it's just strength.
Okay. So I got a 19.
strength.
16 plus 3.
Okay. I was gonna roll, but you did knock him unconscious,
Nice.
so
Even better.
he automatically fails.
Hell yeah. So while he's falling to the ground, I would like to pull out a small, clunky 90s style remote, pull an antenna out of the top of that remote, and I'm going to cast Catapult on the vase and catapult it into the cryo chamber.
Yes.
And I will
Okay.
assist Percy down gently so that he doesn't hurt himself further.
Very nice. Very creative use of catapult.
Mhm.
It it fires into the case, and like the case like literally like slams against the wall. The jar is unharmed.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then-
Close it.
And then the lid closes for the jar.
Turn it
For
on.
the-
Let's
for the
juice
case.
it. Let's
Yeah,
juice
and
it.
March just starts hitting buttons, hands waggling all over, doing the whole cloud, of like just waggling hands there, and then stops. Okay. All right, it should stay shut for a while. I hope.
All
'Cause
right.
I don't know what the heck I made the password as.
I turn. I go, Percy. Brew. How you feel? You still feeling like opening jars?
Yes.
Brew very much feels like opening jars.
I want to
Okay, shit.
open
You still feeling
all
that?
the jars.
I think we're just gonna need to jettison this thing, like, as far as we can.
I mean, is opening that jar a bad thing? You don't know that.
Brew, I'm gonna say this with all kindness.
It's like
You
Schrodinger's
should
cat.
probably go sit down. You have had a presence inside you, and I don't know how you feel about that.
You already know that.
Again. Yeah, so basically, now that it's in there, Choom's idea is let's just fucking eat
You
it.
hear the engines once this thing has been sealed away. You hear the engines kind of do that like power is increasing.
Immediately running to the cockpit as soon as I hear that.
Yeah, I mean the systems all look fine.
Okay.
That
Wow.
would be better than jettisoning this thing, dumping it off on the subfloor.
Lev's got a finger up.
While he runs off to do that, I also am going to go down the cargo bay ramp, which I assume is still open because we didn't need to close it.
Yeah.
Right?
No one closed it yet.
And then I'm going to, again, peek out. And if I don't see anything, I will attempt
I'm not gonna make you make a check.
Just kind of, push my luck, I guess, a little bit. Just try to, like, peek over underneath, maybe, or just try to
Sure.
to make more of an effort to see those unseen spots, I suppose. It's harder to see.
Yeah,
spots.
I mean, listen. Yeah, you can go for a full walk around the entire ship if you really wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Around the exterior. Yeah, it's a little slow going. It's a little awkward, especially because you don't necessarily have like any sort of magnetic boots necessarily available right now to help maybe tether you, so that you're constantly adjusting yourself and like getting used to the gravity, especially when you're walking on the underneath of the ship and it's pulling you back to like the bottom of it, right? It gets a little awkward, right? And you're just kind of slowly tethering yourself and like looking around and like just scanning the surroundings. Like everything looks like there's nothing else out here. It is the vastness of space around you. Vastness of the astral sea.
And I guess my question then is, what am I walking on? Am I walking on like a gangway that goes around the outside of it?
Not really. There's just a few different handles and things like that, and different anchor points.
Okay.
But you're really just kind of walking on the exterior of the ship, and then gravity kind of just keeps pulling you towards it.
Got it. Well, I come back in and I report, pretty empty out there. What did you know? It seems a little strange to report what we kind of already knew, but no noise, no strange box either, aside from the one that we now have in the much larger strange box.
Succinct.
I got an idea. It'd be really funny to dump this thing off at Astral Tech shipping facility.
Are there any nearby? Oh, wait, I'm not here. I'm
Probably
sorry.
not,
I'm
but-
cockpitting right now.
Yeah?
Slavic, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever could be fun for you, March, that is fine.
Percival, is again just breathing heavily on the ground, but is unconscious.
Yeah, somebody probably should deal with
So there-
that.
We
Check
probably
on
need to
him.
get him some medical attention. 'Cause,
Yeah.
2 TBIs in one day is probably really bad for you.
If I try to enter cruising, what happens?
Well, what do you mean? Try to like? Are you just gonna do it while everyone is still?
No,
Like,
more like
up and
prepping
about,
to
or-
do it. Like, did anything change with how it seems to be functioning as I prep?
I mean, the only thing that was different about the last time was that when you pushed the button to go to warp speed, nothing happened.
All right,
Everything still feels normal otherwise.
I'm gonna get on the comms. Is everybody in? Can somebody close that door? I'm gonna try and hit cruising speed, see if we can get the hell out of here.
I close the door. Yeah, everyone is inside, and then I lift my butt.
All right, here goes nothing. I'm good.
No one's strapping in. No one's strapped down. No one's in their seats.
Go. Yeah. You guys, we've done
All right.
this enough times. You should know.
June pushes the button.
Grabs a holy shit handle, assuming that they're
Yeah.
probably all over the spaceship at this point.
So yeah, Chum, you go to press the button to enter warp speed. You know, it goes. Woo, woo, woo. You hear the engines all firing up, and then an error appears on the screen. No destination set.
All right. Hey, Brew, how you feeling about jars?
Why do you keep asking?
Just wondering.
It's like I finally forget about the jar and you bring it up.
Right, but I just need to know like where you're at with those.
I mean, I've opened all the jars I can find.
Yeah, exactly. No more jars exist, right? So you're good.
Well, I know the one in that box over there.
Damn it! Can somebody come up here and do navigation?
Can he
What
not?
comes
Is
out?
that
I mean, I
result of
can't
that?
get to it, so
Yeah.
I don't want to open it now, but like, eventually.
Yeah, but you also put us on a crash course not too long ago. Not sure if you remember that. It's fine.
I was possessed. Give me a break.
Still are, buddy. Still are. We
You're
got
always possessed. We figure you'd be better at it by now.
Never failing, always learning.
Glorp, can you put us back on course to our original destination?
Absolutely.
I don't know, Glorp. Can you do that?
Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Chum 100% has
I
full
mean,
faith
I
in
mean,
your
I know you
capabilities.
keep saying absolutely, but what do we have? What was the job that we assigned to Glorp prior to this?
I don't know.
Not navigation.
Like, there was not computer things, right? It
I
was.
think actually Glorp is assigned to the Hacking Council by Chum's, but March came
yes,
back,
right.
and I don't know how March is gonna. I don't think March would care.
I see.
Really, it's up
Okay.
to March.
Yeah, March is
Glorp.
assembling all the stuff between the hacking console and the outside world.
Glorp, you're gonna make me a check with Navigator's tools. I believe since you are not proficient with those, you will just make me a Wisdom check.
Just a wisdom check. Okay. Yep.
No, I'm still
My neck is
capable.
gonna help.
I can still do my job.
Right, buddy. We'll talk about it later in therapy.
You
I can't
it at all.
see.
It's too
Yeah, I
dark.
can't see. Is that a nat
Wait,
one?
Wait. No, it's the other thing. The more exciting one. You can't see. Oh, God, I'm so
Makes me
bad.
sad,
There we go.
'cause
You
now-
know.
Hey, there it
Glorp
is. Yes.
is good at everything.
Beautiful. So, Glorp, you easily are able to find the last location set prior to the override of the navigation and are able to put yourself back on course to Occipitor.
How'd you do,
Course is
Glorp?
set now, pilot. You can see it. It was already moved to your console and everything. All you gotta do
Thank
is
you,
push the button
Glorpy.
now.
All right, I get on comms. I forgot to do this the
Welcome.
first time, but you guys should
I'm the
probably
Glorp for all
buckle
your
up.
hacking needs.
I buckle up.
Who is securing Percy and where are they securing him?
Oh no, he's got the tether on. He's fine.
No, we should probably put him in a real chair. If he bangs his head again, like, I don't have much conscience left, but I don't want that on it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
So,
we can put them in
how
crash
about we just
chair,
like tie him down to
whatever.
his seat or something? I mean, it's good enough for Jeff.
Good enough for
We ain't
Jeff.
gonna weld
good
this
enough
guy
for
down
him.
or anything.
All right, so you secure the unconscious Percival in the co-pilot's seat,
Yes.
and Chum,
All right,
deliver your address.
all lights green. I'm sorry, that's he's unconscious. All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And I try the button again.
Yep, the engines power up, and then successfully make it to cruising speed.
Oh shit! I immediately jump up and run to the back, stop just before I go up the ladder to the engine, holding a backpack, and go, this may not be really bad. Hold on. You hear him go upstairs, clink, clank, clink, clank. The engine's, all right, yeah, nope, that's good, we're good. I gotta not forget to put that back on the engine when I need it.
Right, you did remove the
ether.
the ether injection system. So,
and I just remembered, so I figured he would just remember.
Okay, the cryo unit though has now been the power source you created for it temporarily is now very limited because of the fact that you kind of like rigged all that stuff up using that particular device.
Right, let's just open the door and kick it out at cruising speed.
I would not recommend that.
Damn it. Thanks, weird floating voice in my head. All right, what's the plan with this thing, guys? Because if we're not getting rid of it, then we're not keeping it. Brendan Brazier didn't do that movie for nothing.
Brendan Brazier.
Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, is the whole dump it off at an Astral Tech facility still on the table? Because it could be hilarious.
Can you keep us off of Astral Tech sonar or whatever space term you want to use?
I mean, also, it might take us a while, but we got enough juice to keep this thing powered indefinitely as long as it's plugged into the ship and, you know.
Oh, shit.
I don't even remember the password.
Mach, you should go
I
check
can
it.
hack it if you don't.
And also keep it cool. Glorp, can you go with March
no.
and check and see if that thing's actually working?
March holds up
Yes.
his arcane focus, hits a button, and it just projects a little kind of green thing up there with status for a thing.
I missed you much.
I got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's
you're
it looking?
still feeding some of the ship's power into it. You know, I think if anything, you may have used that tool more to kickstart it. However, I mean, you have no idea like what, you know, I mean, it's able to keep it at a very relatively cold temperature. Again, not people freezing temperature, but still very cold temperature, and it's securely closed.
The internal batteries were able to keep me frozen for like what?
Right.
A few days? Like if
Well, I wasn't sure.
We're good for the long haul.
That's true. We never really did establish what kind of power.
Everybody
was left
avoids
in the
his eyes. Yeah, totally. Just a couple days.
I mean, it was in game. Just a couple real long days. Yeah, but you are. I mean, currently your destination is set to the independent frontier system of Occipitor. However, if we do consult the galaxy map, you could make a detour off to one of the Astrotech-owned systems of Prophetess. That is a relatively similar distance. However, you know, you're kind of swinging back up and around since you kind of swung down a little bit to go to Occipitor, so it is going to require a little bit of a rerouting.
All right.
You know, it's up to you if you want to change course.
I mean, I'm fine. I think I can keep this thing running for as long as we need it. And if somebody takes over the ship, well, then they got to deal with the thing.
You want to leave the haunted mummy vial on the ship?
Yes. Hooked up to the ship-powered freezer that has rendered it inert. Yes.
Right.
Yes, because freezing things, as we know, completely disables them.
Listen, Mach,
Anything.
I'm not all for self-deprecation here, but we, points at crew, got it open. I'm not really sure it's like that hard to do, so I'm just worried about potentially, looks at Brew, looks back, you know, somebody maybe doing some things that don't make sense. So, like, I think the sooner the better. Let's get rid of this thing.
I am just regaling you with an assessment of my strengths and my prediction. If you feel like we need to go somewhere, then let's go somewhere. I can't operate the freaking navigation console. Like, now I'm just here to do crimes,
just,
right?
Like, there. Like, really confused at why everybody's not.
I don't understand. I was not myself. totally understand, but I can do my job. I can do this. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Right. I mean, I have faith in you, and I don't want you to think I don't. But also, like you
just
said,
kinda-
you weren't you.
He just kind of hangs his head. He's just kind of
Oh, buddy.
waiting for a jar.
There's some in the cupboard that you missed. If you really want to go open them, you can.
I don't think so. I really think I opened them all.
And something about that makes June believe you.
So you're still about a day's journey
Ooh.
at this speed from, or maybe actually, hold on, let me look at the map. Sorry, a day is a little bit generous. You are still a few days,
Oh, shit.
3 days away from Exhibitor, given your current heading and speed. So I'm going to ask a quick sort of, Percival's eventually going to come to, and he's going to need some time to just recuperate.
Ice shard.
However, without magical healing being applied, he's going to remain in more or less the same state, as his body is not going to naturally heal itself necessarily. He may recover some hit points, but he's still going to be suffering some injury effects because he would need some magical healing applied.
Really gonna make me waste
he
my
is
last spell
going
slot.
he is going to attempt to apply that on himself.
Okay, good.
But he's going to be a bit out of commission. He's just going to be kind of sitting there trying to fabricate some additional panels and things
Oh
that
shit! Bad time to tell
stuff-
you. It's not.
stuff that we skipped. Yeah, I mean, with essentially with the tools he has. You can see that most of the time he's spending, and over the course of the rest of this time, is actually just making tools. Because we're missing so many things that we need, since we can't fabricate certain things.
Sorry.
So that's what he's occupying himself with, and he's just, he's at some point expresses maybe his concern at the fact that we were keeping this thing, but obviously his concerns fall on deaf ears. So we're just going to kind of put him off to the side for a bit.
I'm
I'm gonna
weirdly
ask
agreeing
the
with
rest
Percy.
of you, for the next few days, are there any things that you will be attempting or trying or wanting to do before I do things to you?
Oh,
That sounds ominous.
wow.
I don't know how else to put it.
I would like to take a long rest.
That is implied.
Okay, cool.
So we will say that a long rest has happened then. We're gonna, and again, with a long rest in the Astral Sea, you don't really need to sleep, but you do need to do restful activity, right? Or at least just just kind of whatever that means to you, whatever is not actually doing anything, but whatever would bring you peace of mind, whatever would sort of like help you center yourself. That seems to be the type of rest you need to craft on these longer journeys. It was awkward and strange before when you were going back and forth from that research station, right? This was a very unfamiliar feeling, this like almost pausing of biological functions that happens out here in the Astral Sea. It's so I'm
It sounds a lot
curious
like
if-
you're implying we have to have our mental health in order, and
not necessarily. Not necessarily, but what would be to help myself and our audience imagine this, and because I want to use this at some point for something else that I will not say. What does a long rest look like for each of you when you do not need to make sleep a factor of that? Start with March. Unless we could just go with whoever's got the idea of it right now. Yeah, okay, so Glorp, I see a hand up.
Glorp is ready. Glorp decides to use a panel of the ship, finds a nice sized panel to use as like a whiteboard, and definitely has whiteboard markers in the collection of stuff that they brought, and teaches Yes We Mechanican to Chum, a very willing and happy to learn student, and relaxes that
we're
way.
we're thinking a little too active still, right? This is rest we're talking about. So something that would not be doing some sort of that's still doing something like that is of substance, or that is requiring effort and thought. And like what would be your mindless sort of activity? What would be the thing that you sort of do in your personal time to like comfort yourself or rest, right? When you're not working or doing things like that.
Not
For example,
working.
Lev would maybe have his crosswords and things like that as something that would come to mind for me as examples we've used before.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe he finds a spot near the engine where it's warm. And he like sits down next to it, and he's got like
like one of the panels that's missing. You can feel some of the latent heat coming
just
from
like sits
some of those service tunnels.
And he's like, doing the crossword, but he knows very soon, like by the fact that his eyelids are uneven, that he's going to be thinking about taking a quick nap. Even if it's just like
maybe even daydreaming. If it's like a daydream, right?
Something like that. Even though a Thrakreen don't need to do that, but he still feels compelled.
He still
to
feels sort of
siesta.
this. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, think of a siesta activity that your characters would do.
I think Nicole did kind of nail it with the reading, but not in the way that reading would be perceived. Like, I'm not reading for information. I'm actually reading and just circling.
Reading for leisure.
I'm circling all of the words that I just don't know what they mean, so that later I can bring them up to Glorp and have them explain to me what the hell this book is trying to tell.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Sorry, Lev, March, you were going to say something.
So March has one screen working and is projecting two other things on the walls. The screen has what looks like some sort of obscure cartoon from like 30 years ago or something, like really haggard looking animation. There's also a looks like a video cast of some fantasy sports ball stuff, and then like tech news on a third screen. All of them are playing at the same volume, so it's just this like cacophony of noise like in his immediate area.
And he's just kind of just kicking back, just watching it all, just taking it all in.
That felt personal. That's how I relax.
Glorp or Brew?
So Brew is doing his meditations like he would normally, but he's doing it with one eye open, staring at the cryogenic box that this jar has been sitting in.
He's been meditating in the cargo bay a bit.
Yeah, he's just kind of out in the open, just kind of doing his thing,
Sure.
being Brew-like, but trying to hack his way into this box.
Okay. And Glorp?
I feel like Glorp's gonna fail at resting. Glorp doesn't understand the assignment of downtime, and after trying to teach Choom and Choom being like, I'm trying to rest, back off, and getting sent away, Glorp tries grading for a bit, which also doesn't really seem relaxing, even though there's nothing to really grade on the ship.
Exactly. You would be grading your own made-up stuff. I guess that could be pretty relaxed.
Tries pacing for a little while.
Makes up a test, does the test, grades the test.
Yes. Glorp is just
Interesting.
testing themselves.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I just, I'm going to challenge you guys maybe to think about stuff like that, is because it is a bit of strange, and so it's something that deserves a little bit of attention. Anyway, the day, another day passes. No alerts on the systems. Everything looks fine. In your restful time in this next day, we're going to say maybe we're going to be in the common area of the ship again. Autopilot's run, and you only have to check the stuff every so often. There is a screen, right, in that little small common area where there's like a table, right, and where all your coolers and things like that are to eat, which is not far from, again, these like tiny bunk rooms that you have, and they're barely rooms, right? It's like you have a bunk in there and maybe a few feet to stand, like that's about it. Brew, you're feeling like, you're going to go down for another meditation. And when you head down, to the cargo bay to resume your meditations, as maybe some, chatter is happening at the table, or, you know what I mean? The banter that we've all come to know and love from this crew.
Shut up, Percy!
He isn't even saying anything.
In the background.
He's like washing a dish or something like that, or whatever. Yeah, right. As you kind of descend down into the cargo bay, Brew, you go and face this box, right? This cryogenic, crate that the
Kind of runs his hand
jar
over
is
the
in.
corner of it, like just kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then maybe at some point, you've inspected it, you've done your thing. Maybe you go to kneel down on the ground for a bit, and just kind of again try to practice your mindfulness with one eye on the case. And you're doing your meditation, and for the briefest moment, you let both of your eyes shut, and then you open one eye again, and the jar sits atop the case.
Wait, how'd that get there? He says to nobody.
There it is again. It's runes, not glowing at all, right? Just, you can see it, carved into the surface, still well preserved,
Creepy.
and well inked. The, the strange eyes sort of slightly offset from each other, staring at you with this sort of constant smile that it just has. The D smile, right?
You say offset. Is it giving me
wide smile, but it's just painted black.
Is it giving googly eyes? Like that kind of
very much so.
Where the eyes are just kind of
literally if you were to take something like Elmo or Cookie Monster, make it purple, and then just stick it on top, carve that into the top of a canopic jar. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they had a name for that. It was called Grimace.
I was gonna say Barney, but
no, not quite Grimace. The eyes are very much set on top.
You know what? It makes me think of the.
puppet,
I forget what the names of them are, but on Sesame Street there were the little pom pom looking people.
Not necessarily that kind of fuzzy. We're talking much more it's not doesn't look like it was fuzz that was carved in, but more just if it was I don't know, plushy type thing. But it seems to be it's ceramic in appearance. Shiny.
So it's just there, huh?
And you hear in your meditation, right, as you're just staring at it, trying to comprehend how can it possibly be outside of this case? I watched it be put in there and locked away before I had even a chance to try to open this.
I willed it out of its own box.
And a voice whispers into your mind, in Galactic Common, open the jar.
Yeah, of course.
Open it.
I'm gonna.
This is
you
fantastic.
himbo, you.
All of the mysteries of the universe will be revealed to you, bro.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
No,
Who
I'm
is willing
sorry,
to open it
Percy,
just
I
for
didn't mean
cookies?
I'm gonna open it anyway. This voice is just telling me the obvious.
Open it.
Okay, all right,
No,
already.
Percy, I didn't mean that. I'm gonna get something to drink. You want something to drink? Hey, where's Brew?
Too
You
late.
hear it just coming. Oh yeah, I know, but I want to watch.
You're like, no.
Right. Just as I come down the ladder, just looking at you, just
He takes his
Well,
large,
Shum,
beefy
you
hand.
descend down the ladder, and you see Brew cross-legged on the floor, meditating.
Oh, it's a twist.
Wait, you don't see the
Brew, you
jar?
want anything to drink? Brew, you want anything to? He's doing a weird thing. Hey, don't open that. You're not allowed to open that. And I'm gonna climb up the ladder and proceed to get Percy.
You
his
hear
juice
none of
box.
this, Brew. It's just you in the jar.
I
I
feel like
wouldn't
it's
tell everyone upstairs that Brew is doing something weird downstairs in front of the fucking.
I'm picturing just this scene of a field, and he's picking up the jar and he's just spinning around with it.
Hungry Eyes is playing.
Well, don't
We're
get ahead
just
of yourself.
recycling the
Don't get ahead
background
of yourself,
from
Mike.
Pregnard and Chorizo.
You still haven't touched it yet.
Right. Okay.
Oh fuck!
So he kind of opened. Well, his both eyes are already open, right? So he's gonna kind of look around, and just kind of make like that kid who knows he's not supposed to go into the cookie jar, but is checking to see if mom is watching. And he just
the ship is quiet. The din of your companions all,
weird.
talking to each other. All of that is just fade into the backdrop.
Right.
It's calm, quiet.
Said
it is
my
serene
precious. It's fucking weird.
in this room.
You're not gonna worry about me taking a quick little peek. So
So you stand
he gets up,
Yep.
and he kind of, once again, he's kind of doing the whole like looking around, making sure that he's not, there's nobody around, and he walks up to the jar. He takes his meaty, beefy hands, kind of like.
I mean,
He just kind
it's
of
a
like
Minotaur. That goes without
doesn't-
saying.
right. He doesn't like caress it, but he kind of just like brushes his hand like around it. That's the best way to describe it, right?
But as soon as you make contact, right, then this vision happens to you, right? Of you in the field, right?
Yeah.
Like holding the jar, frolicking, spinning around, just enjoying the jar.
And the eyes on the jar are just like bouncing
and-
around.
No. They remain perfectly still, but like it slightly offset.
Okay, all right, sure.
But like you're holding
This
it.
is my
it's
dream,
like looking
friend.
at you, and you're looking at it. Yeah. But I mean, like you're holding it so that it's always maintaining eye contact with you, right?
Of
Like
course.
it's doing
Yeah.
that. And finally, you bring it down. Like after you're frolicking out and things, you bring it down to your chest, and you reach over to try to open it.
I don't know why I
just goes-
twisted it.
And like a can of Pringles, it just
Oh no.
and you're just absorbed. It's just this just wave of darkness that washes over you, and you come back to, and you're sitting in your cross-legged position. You're meditating.
Oh, you
Yeah.
dog, you.
The coffin remains, or the coffin, right? The cryogenic box remains closed. The jar still inside.
He opens up one eye and like looks around.
Yeah, you can hear, the conversation still happening upstairs, and maybe some music is playing, the clinging and clanging, maybe like, like metal on metal or something like that, maybe like dishes or other things, it's the normal noises of the ship, the ambient rumble of the engines and like the slight rattling that's kind of always happening of the panels that aren't perfectly set, there's just that constant, which I have a perfect sample that I've inserted in episodes like this when we're on the ship of like just like a metal cabinet like vibrating essentially, and it sounds perfect for this. That's kind of what it sounds like, so it's just the normal noise and din of the ship. Not really quite sure what that moment you just had was, but
He just kind of walks up to the cryogenic box and just kind of like knocks on it. Oh, still closed. All right. Well, I don't know what that was.
mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, are you still doing that weird thing down there? Bro,
My meditations are not weird.
you're right. Sorry. Different time. We're gonna make some ice cream up, and we don't need to eat it, but we just want to feel the cold mouthfeel. You in?
Are you gonna put them in jars?
Yeah, buddy. We'll put it in a jar.
Ooh, I'm in.
Beautiful. We'll close the scene here. We'll move on to the final day of travel as you're approaching the occipital system. During this restful time, between the last day and this now, Choom, or actually, I need everybody, not just Choom, I need everybody to make me intelligence saving throws.
Oh no!
Lovely.
Oh
Can I
yeah.
pick one person that I would be nearby?
No.
Son of a bitch. I just knew in my heart the answer. I just had to ask. You know how it
I
is.
want all of you to individually make your attempts here. So, March, what did you get?
Dirty 21.
Beautiful. Lev?
Well, I got a 3.
Beautiful. Brew?
I am so proud of this 15.
Wonderful. Glorp?
I got an all-natural 1, baby.
Oh!
Beautiful. Thank you. And Chum, what'd you get?
I got a +4 modifier, so that would be a 9. 30.
Rue, let's start with the good. March, it's just another day for you. Like any other.
I can't even get the thoughts I want in my head. Something intrusive like that's never getting through.
Rue, your unquenchable desire to open jars feels less intense today. You're still feeling a little enthused about jars, if nothing else, but you're not feeling that same compulsive need.
Is it more of a can day?
It's more of a yeah. It's or more of just like a, I'm feeling like I'm just gonna do what I want.
That's a
Kinda
new
day.
feeling for me recently.
You're still feeling a little funny about this whole like jar experience that you've been having, but it doesn't feel as compulsory. Today. Chum.
Oh.
You're resting in your hammock at one point, between days here, as the ship just chugs along, doing some light reading, maybe just even, if anything, scrolling your phone.
Aerodynamic, flow, flux, capacity.
Your hammock is in the cockpit, is that correct?
My hammock technically is in the sleeping area, but I would also sleep in the cockpit often.
Where would you be sleeping on this particular day?
100% in the cockpit. We could
Lovely.
retcon to that.
You glance over, at the systems just to make sure everything is still, like nothing's popping up on the screen, nothing to address or deal with or get anybody to get in their seats
nothing
for.
to tell Percy to do. Yep.
And there, atop the piloting console, is the jar.
That's not supposed to be there.
Lev, you're doing one of your crosswords. You've had to, like this well-weathered book that you are, working through slowly, creaks as you're, moving it around in your hands, maybe trying to think about just like, okay, what's, 5-letter word for whatever.
It's a 3-letter word for container.
Beautiful.
Box.
I tried to stop myself.
It's got an A in the middle of it.
I'm assuming you'd probably be
Can.
doing this. You're probably sitting like in a chair, like next to like a, again, like a service panel that would go into where the engines are to feel the warmth that comes from them. And out of the corner of your eye, you could swear that inside the, like just inside the wall there, is that the jar? Glorp.
Jar.
While you're thinking about jar, I am jar. Now, Glorp, while you are maybe preparing another lesson plan, as this seems to be the way that you relax, you've noticed that as you're, kind of writing things out, or maybe making your plans, you double take and you look at your notes, and it's just jar. It's just the word jar, written over and over and over and over and over again. You have no idea when you started writing the word jar, but now it's like it's the only thing that's on your mind. It's just the jar. Its weird, strange eyes somehow understand you. Its ever-present smile fills you with a sense of calmness and joy and belonging. You feel like, I think I want to try to hack this fucking case and open this jar. Glorp, please make me a computer's check.
It seems jar for the course.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's so good. What a twist.
I wonder
Everyone's
how
seeing a jar
long
laughs.
it's going to take. I was going to say, I wonder how long it's going to take for our audience to get sick of the word jar.
I rolled an 8. I no modifiers to that.
Yeah, so there's, you're doing the glorp thing of like, you think you know what you're doing, you're trying to hack the thing, and your mojo doesn't seem to be working this time around. You've had a great luck with computers thus far. However, a very loud, but not very loud, but a loud enough error, of like a, password incorrect type sound plays as you, attempt many different combinations of whatever the fuck passwords were made or whatever hacking you did.
I am just typing the word.
Your head.
I'm just typing the word jar over and over again.
It's just jar over and over again. It's amazing. March, you hear the sound, like the error sounds of someone trying to break into this container.
I figured it was going to happen eventually. Grabs a bag of tools and heads on down.
Yeah, you go down and you're surprised to see it's glorp. Just typing in jar over and over again as a password.
Of a student trying to take on the master. And because I'm just clocking that it's just jar over and over again. I'm like, you know what? Have fun with that. It keeps you out of trouble.
Eventually, glorp, you give up. You're just like, but there's, as far as like you're not getting anywhere with this whole jar thing. But you're thinking to yourself, like, I just need to get back to the drawing board, and I'll be able to get into this thing. So I'm going to give you some adult onset madness.
Ooh.
You will be obsessed with trying to open the case. Glorp, you may be frustrated to go back to the drawing board, to try to figure out maybe, okay, so jar clearly didn't work, but maybe there's other combinations
Jar
or
1,
things.
2, 3.
You haven't cracked the code yet.
Yeah, I go looking for some of March's something that looks like an actual hacking tool that I can work with arcane hacking to use to open the box. I'm looking for something that's just, I'm looking for something that's called like Hackomatic or something in March's crap at this point.
Hack.
I think luckily for March, he keeps a lot of his stuff on his person at this point, as he did not bring much equipment with him on this journey.
Name it things like Hackomatic.
So, thus far, your search bears no digital fruits. However, we'll revisit this in a bit. Your systems begin to let you know the occipital system is within range and to prepare for entry.
All right, everybody, this is it. Stations. Is the jar still there?
No. As soon as the alert goes off, those of you who thought you saw the jar, it's gone. Figment of your imagination, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just a byproduct of some of the sort of weird metaphysical energies that exist in the astral sea. You've been out here for a bit. You're still getting used to resting in this space. Who knows? Trick of the imagination, nothing more.
Shouldn't have smoked the whole jar.
Jars aren't real.
Jars aren't real. All right, guys. Percy, are we looking good for entry?
Yeah, I think so. We should just maybe buckle up just to make sure. Do we have any anti-nausea medication in the?
I don't think we brought any.
Cabinet. Oh.
However, you will find conveniently under all of your chairs there is a bag.
Oh no.
All right, everybody.
Can we all reach under our seats to see what's in the bag?
It's just a barf bag.
It's just a barf bag. Yeah. I see.
Maybe
a little note saying "Save the Dramamine for your mamamine."
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna try and pull us out of cruise and into the system.
It all kind of happens automatically, which is the beauty of the way that these ships work.
Love that. Still gonna take credit, but love that.
Yeah, but you do, and you essentially see the rift of the occipital system. You can see the very, very sort of dim orange light from its star, like kind of reflected and obfuscated slightly as you're approaching this sort of weird rift in this sea, and then you cross into the system. Your navigation map updates with the local system map. You can see that there are, several planets here. and it's telling you the population of this system is, I mean, you're barely crossing, you're barely hitting 1 million, even in like across all the different civilized like frontier worlds out here. We're talking maybe about 700,000 for the entire solar or wild space system. There is a desert world, a couple barren planets and ice planets. There's like an oceanic world, and you have like a couple like frontier like settlements set up on what appears to be like some sort of forested moon in this system, as well as on that desert world. There are two specifically named like settled planets here, or one's a moon and one is a planet, and that would be Occipitor 1, which would be Astalon, and then you have Elmer's Rest, which is a moon of Occipitor 2. There's no greeting. There is no sort of port of entry here, or any sort of like what appears to be any sort of law enforcement or anything that would maybe be controlling system traffic or anything like that. You kind of just enter the system. You see several different asteroid fields dot the like system map. In different places. These would be the what are described as the shattered spurs, which are just just a different collections of like mineral-rich asteroid fields where mining operations might be taking place. But everything seems pretty calm. Everything seems normal. Like you entered a system, no one's trying to attack you, nothing's going wrong.
Yeah, this is.
We've had some strange
we have no idea how to live like this.
Everything seems okay.
It's starting to feel like it's all going right, guys.
Yeah,
Finally.
Sure is. Are we picking a particular destination we would like to learn more about and start heading towards?
Brew, is there a place that's the least bit scary for us to drop this thing off on?
Yes.
Of the five planets in this system, would you just let me know what you'd like to know about? I will give you there's Occipitor 4 is a barren ice planet. Occipitor 5 is a liquid nitrogen planet. Ain't a whole lot going on in any of those. Valor Basin is a like oceanic world. There might be some small like islands on there, or maybe some fishermen. It does appear to have some population. You have Elmer's Rest, which is a wilderness moon, which appears to have several settlements and of people, and appears to have some trading outposts as well.
Probably shouldn't bring it there.
Same with Astalon. Astalon also appears to have some like mining settlements and
So if we want to abandon this jar on a place,
then Occipitor 2 is a barren planet with no air envelope.
Okay, so we have Occipitor 2, a desert, ocean, and an Arctic planet.
Why not like a star? Is there no sun to deposit this into?
That is the star of the system
I
is named after
love
Occipitor.
your enthusiasm, but I'm not sure Astrid's gonna be able to handle that much gravitational force.
But I was also
now.
thinking, like, I don't know if destroying it is a smart idea either, because we don't know what it will release.
It would release it into the sun. And we don't really need to, I don't think that we need to go too far. We just kind of kick it in that direction, right?
And then wait a few fucking hundred. Just assume that it's
Why
gonna
100
one day
years?
go.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No, we get close enough that we can,
Well,
And
it's
Percy can do some
Launch
math.
it.
Percy can do some math and tell us how long we should expect for it to make contact with the surface of the star.
Just go into the
And,
SOC and wait.
Yeah, if we're not going to cause some chaos, Project Yeet It Into the Sun sounds pretty fantastic, actually.
Listen, I don't know anything about
then.
anything, so if that's where we want to go with it, we just got to figure out how to not get Astrid too close to that.
Right. And coming from the guy that would figure that out for us, that's kind of disheartening.
Just then, Troom, your heart sinks as you look over onto the console that begins beeping. It says that the cruising drive is experiencing an error.
Does nobody else be able to see this, right?
It's just kind of blinking there.
Oh,
I mean, if
cool.
someone
It's like the
decides to look
light
down
in
at their
someone's
screen-
car, right? Like it's like the lights
Yeah.
on. I'm going to
It's
just
the check engine light.
as nonchalantly,
hit you with one of these.
I'm going to roll a performance and try and as nonchalantly as possible
Dismiss it.
go up to the end, like go like just be like, hey guys, I'll be right back. No particular reason, just nobody look at my cockpit area. I'll be right back. No reason to worry, no reason to panic. I think. And he's gonna climb up into
okay.
the engine room. Oh fuck!
Being that I have really good,
Yeah, it appears.
sorry, just the insight that I have is pretty strong. So I'm just gonna assume that Choom is lying.
Yeah,
My ass off. I got rolled a
Yeah. I'm gonna go right into the cockpit.
yeah. I mean, you see the same error that there's something wrong with the cruising, like the cruising drive, like mechanism.
I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Choom, you're fumbling around with like the stuff in there. You can see that the injection system you have set up for ether still seems to be fine, but you can see that some of the tubes and things that you've been using to sort of like route some of the extra power to the engines appear to already be damaged.
Shit.
You think that you could probably at least reroute some of the working, like effectively what's like radiator hose, just like thermally sealed, right?
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
You might be able to maybe rig this in such a way where you could wrap a few of these tubes and at least get you guys somewhere where you can get some repairs done.
Yep. And I pull out
But
galactic duct tape.
you're gonna need a temporary fix, and you're gonna need to pick a place to land if you're gonna want to get out of this system anytime soon.
Okay. So I'm gonna go on comms from my little tiny handheld that's always on my little thing, and I'm gonna go, hey, for no reason at all, completely unrelated, but Brew, can you plan a route to that settlement for an emergency landing? You know, not like an emergency, but like kind of like an emergency landing.
You're gonna have, and Brew, you're gonna need him to be more specific because there are settlements both on Astalon and on Elmer's Rest.
Yeah. I can take us in multiple directions. Can you give me a little bit more information about like what our purpose for landing is? Like what's
you
going
hear
on?
a loud crash static explosion. Ah, fuck! Just dealer's choice, just pick. And you just hear him go off.
Brew, you can see that there's several different like ship repair type like scrap vendors listed on Astalon, the desert world. Elmer's Rest does have what appears to be some sort of small like machine, like shop for aircraft, but it does appear that it's not as well equipped for any ship repairs on that particular moon. But there is probably better other trade opportunities, and potentially even what appears to be ruins on Elmer's Rest that people tend to go here to investigate. And that's just what the readout is that you're reading here. But Astalon appears to have a few different like mining settlements and like scavenger like villages where they kind of it's probably a lot of scrap stuff that they're selling, but it's better than nothing.
So Elmer's Rest is more mysterious?
yeah, it's essentially like a wilderness moon.
I want to go there.
Okay, you set the course for Elmer's Rest.
You hear
Chew.
click on the comms. Hey, Glorp, for a unfire related reason, can you come up here, please?
Sure can.
So with Glorp's assistance, Chum, you make the adjustments needed to at least get you to this system. And I'm going to say that without any other
Hiccups.
hiccups, yeah, you are able to now follow the course. There is some, like, again, backfiring and sputtering that it's coming from the engines.
Totally
that might,
normal.
or may or may not.
Supposed to do that.
Concern. Yeah. Percival gives you a look as you enter the piloting room, but he doesn't say anything. And you blast off towards Elmer's Rest with the jar safely tucked away in the cargo bay of the ship.
Jar.
We'll find out what's on Elmer's Rest next week on the Hapless Heroes podcast.
Oh no!
Hey.
Hey.
We did it, team.
You did it. No jars were harmed in the making of this episode.
Jar.
We're hunting rabbits.
So, my beautiful audience, if you like us, you can find us on the internet. We are in many places, but those places are all links, and those links, they grow on trees. So you should visit our link tree. It's linktr.ee/haplessheroes. Has all the places we exist on the internet, but we would really just encourage you to click on our favorite little link on that there tree, and that's the link to our Discord server, which is the crown jewel of our internet presence and where all of the cool kids hang out. You can come and talk to any one of us in the cast about the show or about other things, and we're always hanging out in there and engaging in all kinds of different conversations and sharing different like supplementary stuff from episodes, like just different handouts or maps or other stuff that we can't really show you in this radio or audio only medium, right? So we encourage you to kind of pop in there and just kind of see what it's all about. Now, listen, if you really, really like us though, we want to take it a step further than just hopping in our community. We would love it if you said some nice things about us. So if you want to do that by leaving a review on the podcast service of your choice, we would deeply appreciate it. We will find that review and we will read it on the air and we will acknowledge you as the 5-star human being that you are. Now, listen, if your podcast service doesn't allow you to leave reviews, you could also just go to a 5-star channel in our Discord server and say some nice things about us, and we will acknowledge you just the same. And I guess, if you really wanted to, I suppose you could go to where our content is on YouTube now and I guess give it a like and comment on it or something. I don't know how I don't know.
Hey, you made it through that time without gagging. Proud of you.
Maybe you could do that. If you really wanted to do it that way, I guess. Anyway, that's what you could do if you really, really like us. But now, if you really, 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 really like us, I'm talking about like wanting to support us financially, you can go to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. For the price of a cup of coffee every month, you can get access to all of our behind the scenes audio and bonus content. We also have free bonus content on there in the form of interviews and other out of character type things that we've done, that we've kind of funneled some of that content through, as well as, so much stuff from the last 8 years of the show from season 1. And we just kind of constantly adding to it. And we've even made an RSS feed for it. So you can just tune into it on whatever podcast service you want to, just like you do our normal show. So we would encourage you to check it out, and all the money that we take in from there goes right back into making this the ad-free entertainment that you so desire. We've been able to pay our hosting costs, replace equipment, and all that fun stuff. So we appreciate all of the support y'all have given us over the years, and we thank you for your continued support. Now, that's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and outro my beautiful cast of characters for you, starting on my virtual right. Lewis as Lev Zangief.
All your jar belong to us.
Yes. Sebastian is Chim DeLoom.
Listen, bro, I know I said some harsh things, and I just really want to apologize. That's not who I am, and I'm working on it.
Nicole is Glurp Glup Glup.
I bet you there's a whole bunch of jars on the planet that we can open if we decide that we want to do that again.
Mike is Brunner Brew Blitzbor.
It really is amazing how much jars all look alike. It's uncanny.
In that they aren't cans. And Dave is March.
Hey, good night, everybody.
And I'm Francesco. I have been your host and DM. Tune in next week where things get more spooky or less. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Bye.
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 Anybody got a jar?